Hey guys, today in Raid Shadow Legends, we have Wythir the Crowned, a Demonspawn, Force Affinity, Legendary Healer, and Cleanser, and Buffer, and everything else. A few shoutouts to you guys. Alfonso, Luis Vallejo, asking for a guide almost every day here. Big shout to you, Alfonso. Finally, we made it happen. We have Muscleman 5010. Can you make a guide on Wythir the Crowned? I pulled her the first progressive chance event, and then pulled Staltus Act afterwards. Congratulations, man. And shout out to all the rest of you who keep the champion guide requests coming. Let's go ahead and take a look at Wythir the Crowned. All right, guys, so Wythir the Crowned, here she is. She's been impaled, ladies and gentlemen. She does have a dagger right through her heart, and it's coming out the backside as well, in case you missed those details. The good news is even though two hands are tied behind her back, I think, or are they holding something? Are they holding a necklace? Yeah, it doesn't look like they're tied, but she does have two more hands, right? So she's got that going on as well. You can check out the champion lore on Wythir the Crowned and how she became to be in the situation that she finds herself here through the champion lore inside the game. She's a support legendary, Force Affinity Demonspawn, as I mentioned. What does she do? She has an AoE on the A1, Soul's Impalement, attacks all enemies, has a 50% chance of placing a leech for one turn, also places a continuous heal, big version, on a random ally for 2 turns. Now, all of her abilities do scale off of defense. Her base defense is not that high, but it's not bad at 1178. Her speed is high at 108, and her HP is very high at 24k, which is really nice, given what we're going to talk about on the A3. Feel No Pain is a 3-turn cooldown on the A2. We get a big version, increased defense on all allies for 2 turns. Also increases the duration of all continuous heal buffs on all allies, then instantly activates any continuous heal buffs on all allies. Boy, is that a nice ability to have. You know, the instant activation of continuous heals while she's extending the duration, that just really adds to her already incredibly robust healing profile. Her Azure Redeemer, on a 3-turn cooldown as well. It's really nice that the books go right down to the cooldown and right to the cooldown. 4 books on the A2 to A3. She does have 4 books necessary on the A1 that just go to damage, so see if you can get lucky, because you don't need to damage book the A1. On the passive, again, no books here, so it's not too bad. Wait, the A3, we didn't even read it. Removes all debuffs from all allies, and then heals all allies by 30% of this champion's max HP. That scales so well, it is a massive heal. This heal alone will be enough to completely heal some of the champions on your team, provided that you build her correctly. Very strong. So the cleanse, the big heal, the continuous heal activation, the increased defense, the AoE leech, and on Eternal Flame passive, places a continuous heal on the ally with the lowest HP for 1 turn at the start of each turn. She also has resist in all battles by 50 on the aura. Man, she's really one of the best healer in supports inside the entire game, guys. So congratulations. If you're watching this video because you just got your hands on her, you just pulled her, congrats. If you have her in the vault, what are you doing? Use this champion. You can definitely use her somewhere. I would say almost everybody can use this amazing champion. So Wythir the Crowned, we have her in a stun set and an immortal set. So many different ways you can build this champion. I love the stun because on the AoE, well, she has an AoE, on the A1 ability, right? So might as well go ahead and put a stun set on her, and then she brings control to the table on top of everything else that she does. And it's not going to make her, you know, bad in any other area. It's not like it's going to detract from the rest of her stats or her skills or what she's able to do, right? So take advantage of that stun. It's going to help you out in wave content and Doom Tower floors. I use her in a few different areas of Curse City as a control champion in that stun set, or with the heals and the buffs if we need them in the cleanse, right? So I love stun on this champion. However, triple immortal works as well. I would also consider curing. A curing set on this champion, why not? You could also run maybe double immortal and 1 perception, because keep in mind, you do need accuracy to land the leech on her A1. That's a tough one. The fact that only one little thing on her entire kit requires accuracy, but I do love having that leech there as well. So especially if you're depending on it in areas like Hydra Clan Boss, we definitely want to go ahead and build enough accuracy. You don't need to overdo it, but around, 200, 300 accuracy, depending on where you are, should be enough to land that leech in most scenarios with dungeons and with Hydra Clan Boss. So what do we put on her here? Well, we went with resistance on the banner. I like building her with resistance. It's not imperative to do so, but she is a cleanser, right? So might as well build a little bit of resist on her if you can. Other options are obviously going to be HP on the banner, or you could even go defense if you wanted to. You don't want to totally neglect defense, but you do want to gravitate towards HP as much as possible because of that amazing scalability of that high number 24K. We have defense on the amulet. We have defense on the ring as well. I did get a nice 22% defense percentage on the substats there as well. Now, because we went defense on the accessories, we're absolutely going to go speed on the boots. We're going to go HP percentage on the chest, and we're going to go with HP percentage on the gauntlets, okay? So you definitely want to take advantage of this percentage gear, the gauntlets, and the chest as well. If you're going to use a kind of maybe a little bit of unorthodox build inside the arena, I would even consider potentially going with like stone skin or something like that and putting HP percentage also on her boots. I like having her fast too though, so there's a lot of options. As I said, curing set, I want to definitely throw that out there as well. Curing is actually really good because again, Wythir is one of the best healers out there in the game. So curing set is going to make her an even more competent healer, and it's going to go a long way given how robust her kit is already when it comes to that support. I have as a blessing faultless defense. It was changed too whenever an enemy attacks an ally under an increased defense placed by this champion reflects a portion of the damage back to the attacker. She has increased defense on a 3-turn cooldown. Why not? Get a little bit extra damage out of this champion as well. So I have her at 5-star awakening. That's a 9% damage reflected back. If you have her 6-star, that's 15% damage reflected back. It's not bad. If I did have her 6-star though, I would probably just go with Smite, Brimstone, or I would go in the arena with Polymorph, obviously, right? For Masteries, well, because we have her in a stun set, I did put her in a stun mastery build, but it's going to be fairly similar no matter what way I'm building her, right? I'll give you some options. So I went defense. I went down to blastproof. You definitely want to pick up Shadow Heal because heals this champion by 6% of their max HP every time an enemy is healed. 6% of her max HP, we have like 120k HP on her, right? It scales really easily, so getting a 6% heal is big, it's substantial, and it's going to happen every time an enemy is healed. Rejuvenation, increased amount of healing and the value of shields this champion receives by 5%. May as well keep her alive there as well. We did get some turn meter boosters, Cycle of Revenge. Every time an ally is hit with a critical hit, has a 15% chance, or a 50% chance of increasing the turn meter by 15%. And then we went down with Fearsome Presence. Now, I did double up on the Harvest Despair on the Leech, right? She does have a Leech on the AoE on the A1, but every time she places that stun, we can place the Leech as well. So I went double on the Harvest Despair on the Leech to get more heals from our damage dealers alongside Wythir the Crowned on their team. The most important on the support tree, other than the healing, it's great to have more HP with Steadfast, more healing, rapid response is fantastic, more turn meter increase, but lasting gifts. We really want to extend the duration of the increased defense and the continuous heals that she is constantly casting and then activating as well. So lasting gifts is the way to go for me. And then Fearsome Presence. That's going to bring our stun set odds from an 18 to a 23% chance on that AoE on the A1. That's how we have her built, guys. I gave you a few recommendations on other ways to build her and other blessings to consider as well. Her total stats are going to be 117k, 4100, 274, and then 430 on the resistance. Stat priorities on this champion are going to be speed, HP, or HP, speed. After that, you can build resist and accuracy as kind of 3A, 3B. And then if you want to get a little bit of damage out of her, you absolutely can. That AoE on the A1, they give her a 2.8 damage defense multiplier. That's not that bad, actually. So if she is staying alive and you're using her in an area like Hydra Clan Boss, I would absolutely build her with 100% crit rate. Heck, I might even consider going down and picking up War Master as well. Let me see. Yeah, like I think this build is going to be just fine here for like a Hydra Clan Boss, right? You don't need Fearsome Presence. You don't need the stun set at all. So why not go with like a Curing set or a Relentless set or something like that, and then go down and go pick up War Master on her as well on the offensive tree. So I would absolutely recommend this, especially for Hydra or just boss-oriented content where you don't need to get any heals. They do have a healer recommendation as well. They come down with timely intervention. I think this is fine as well. It's not my favorite. I meant to point out retribution and deterrence are also very good on her because counterattacks will activate the AoE on her A1, which is going to, in our case, have a chance at landing a stun or at least a leech right out of that AoE on the A1. Moreover, we're going to have the continuous heal on that A1 as well. All right, guys, let me go ahead and show her in action, show her in battle here. I have her in the stun set, which you can absolutely use in the arena as well. I'm here in Plat right now, trying to find a team that we could probably, hopefully beat here. I have her setting up a defense-based nuker, so I have a lot of control on this team. Solus has Provoke, he has buff removal, and then I have Armand's the Magnificent, and then I have Crixia as a lockout option. Just try to get in here and kind of clear the way for our guy, right? Or our gal, excuse me. Her job, obviously, is going to be to keep everybody alive. So let me make myself a little bit smaller here so you can see. We're going to come in here with the A2 first. Obviously, we don't need to cleanse. If we did need to cleanse, we would go ahead and do that. We can cleanse off the hexes from Mythrala on our next turn. Actually, let's cleanse. No. I want to place a block debuff instead right now. Okay, so we come in here. We're going to go ahead and nuke. Let's nuke with the AoE on the A3 here. Cool. Now, we do have Petrification, but hopefully we're going to come right in here and cleanse away all the nasty petrification and all that baloney that was put on us. We can come back in here and stun with Armand's the Magnificent again. We did get a couple resists. Mythrala Lifebane is seeing a lot more action in the arena because of the popularity of this dude, right? So now they have block debuffs. I'm going to go ahead and sheep UDK, and then we're going to come back in here. This time we do not have, unfortunately, the increased defense on him right away. Now we can go ahead and refresh everything on the team. So we've made a dent on this squad, but boy, they're a pesky little team here that we're facing, right? Let's get back in here. Decrease turn meter. Do you guys think I'm going to win, or you think I'm going to lose? I think it's looking pretty good so far, right? Doing a good job of keeping that. I mean, there's not much to cleanse here, but again, 38,000 heal. That's pretty dang nice, right? All right, at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and A1. We don't need to polymorph. Actually, I should have went with the A3 on Armand's to remove those buffs. My bad on that. Little mistake. Hopefully, it doesn't cost me. But again, now we can come in A1 and hopefully stun. We did land a stun on Pythion, who has a cleanse, block debuffs, and a revive, so that was fantastic. We're one turn away from the reset, but we do have to metamorph, unfortunately, and put their skills on cooldown, remove some of their buffs. Come in here again with Armand's stun 1. Man, they have a lot of high. You're seeing a lot of the return of high resist teams is absolutely a thing in this game, guys. It's pretty crazy to see. It's how one champion, Armand's the Magnificent, can change the entire meta. In this situation, I do want to come in with the A2 of Wythir again, just so I can have that increased defense, if nothing but for more damage. And Armand's, who knows, he might be dead if not for that increased defense as well. All right, we're going to come in. We're going to sheep UDK again. We are getting the resist, as you guys can see. But now we're able to, let's just target stun on Harima. Let's come in A1, try to put a stun on Pythion. We don't land it. He doesn't have his A2 off cooldown yet anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and, we're already one turn away from the lockout. I hope I'm right here, but I think Solus has his A3 off cooldown. I don't know. Let's come in, at least steal their turn meter there on Armand's. We're going to go ahead and cleanse off these debuffs, get a nice heal in, come back in, and again, reset the abilities. Now we do have that A3. Boom. Now we're starting to make some progress. The Reviver is finally dead. Thank God. And this one's pretty much over here. Only 2 supports left. So it was a slow fight. It was a slog. 2 heavyweights in the arena, right? But we came across on top, and, you know, she's doing a number of things here. Not only is she cleansing, obviously, not only is she making sure that everybody is nice and topped off, continuous heals, the whole 9 stuns. She landed a few stuns in the duration of this fight, but she's setting up our defense-based nuker, which is a great use case for her in the arena, right? It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be Solus. It could be a Staltus Dragonbane, even though he does have his own increased defense as well. It can be a Ragash. It can be a Helikath, for example, a Harima, right? These are all good pairings for her inside the arena. All right, guys, let me show you a Ice Golem Hard 10 team here. And there we go. So we have Artak. We have Seer Yumeko just to kind of get us through these waves. It's not going to be ideal, unfortunately, because we don't have quite enough buffs, so we do have to go in with Seer's A2. So it's going to take us about 40 seconds to get to the Fire Knight. I'll come back, the Ice Golem. I'll come back to you guys while I do that, Hellhades.com gives her, Wythir the Crowned, a 4 overall grading. Now that to me is crazy. Not really. I think she's probably a 4.5 maybe. But what's crazy is the champion that we did yesterday, good old Granjar, who I think is one of the worst in the game. I say it's crazy because they gave him a 4, the same as Wythir the Crowned. I think that Wythir is a lot better. I'm obviously tipping my hand here. You guys know how I feel about it. But hey, key areas: Clan Boss, Hydra, Doom Tower, Iron Twin, Sand Devil, Shogun. I run around my main Shogun team. I'll show you the team. Ice Golem Hard. Look at everywhere you can use her. 5 in the arena. Scarab King, Frostbiter, Eternal Dragon. She's just one of the best, most versatile supports in the game. We're already here at the Ice Golem. She's going to do a great job. Now, normally, Yumeko and Seer die right about now, maybe in a moment. His next big attack, right? We'll see if they do. She might be doing such a good job keeping everybody alive that they might not even die, right? Ideally, they do. In a perfect world, I want Walking Tomb Dragon and Artak and Wythir to kind of 3-man, woman, whatever, this boss, because they can just keep placing those burns and then activating them. But she does such a good job keeping everybody healed up that that might not be the case. The cool thing is about this is I'm able to turn off Walking Tomb Dragon's A3 ability, his heal, so we can just focusing on putting out the burns and then activating those burns, which he has on his A1 that cannot be resisted. Why? Because we don't need the heals. Wythir the Crowned is going to do a great job healing everybody all on her own. We do not need extra healers or the A3 of Walking Tomb Dragon. It helps speed up the run a little bit, right? Actually, the main team that I have is very similar to this for Ice Golem 10. I'm just using Gizmak, the new burner. I'm using him instead. It's a little bit different, but it's fairly close, I would say. Gizmak is great because he can activate Seer right away and shave off about, 40 seconds or whatever it is, 35 seconds off of our time here. But either way, I mean, we're down to 2. This is exactly where we want to be. Just like Elva Autumnborn, Siphi, the champions who have those really nice heals on their passives. We don't have a healing passive. I guess we technically do with the continuous heals, but she's able to do such a good job between the leech, between the continuous heals, the activations, the big heal, the cleanse, everything, increased defense, that she's able to be a very, very good support, even in a duo situation like we just saw, right? Here is a reflex. Don't want that. More reflex. I love reflex, but I don't want rares, 5 stars. I think we've had a pretty good guide here. I'll show you the team. I don't feel like you guys need to see it in action necessarily, but we run this team, right? Basically, it's as easy as this. We have 3 cleansers, all with a lot of awakening. It doesn't matter who they are. I could use a Cardial. I could use a Grand Warden Paedrig or whatever his name is. There's a few others too, right? But basically, you put a cleanser with a bunch of cleansers with a Geomancer, and then that's it. Geo does all the damage, right? So that's the squad. It's nothing. It's not a speed run. It's nothing crazy, but you can use her really almost anywhere. Who doesn't need a cleanser? And who doesn't need a cleanser with everything else that she brings with her as well? Guys, thank you for watching. Let me know where you use Wythir the Crowned. Very, very versatile champion. Almost more versatile than pretty much every champion that we've had here on the channel so far, right? And there's been hundreds. You can just use her almost everywhere. I think that maybe like Fire Knight's the only exception to that rule. And heck, if you wanted to, you could still use her there. Anyway, guys, I am done with this video. Keep the champion guide requests coming in the comments below. Much love. And as always, take care, guys.